What is going on? It's Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we're going to be breaking down Yahoo Sports 2024 NFL Mock Draft. If you are new, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. You guys know how to use YouTube. Below my face is my board. Below that is going to be all the great ways to get involved in the community, as well as take advantage of our two sponsors, Olipop and UnderDog Fantasy. I'm on a time crunch today, but I want to make sure that y'all got the content you deserve. I actually have about 90 minutes in between my morning shift and night shift, so pray for me. Let's get through this. Let's have some fun. Start off with the number one overall pick. The Bears go Drake Maye. I think this would be a huge failure of a pick. I also shout out to Connor. He'll be on the show in the next coming month or so. But Chicago Bears going Drake Maye. I don't think if you're going to go quarterback, Drake Maye is going to be the upgrade. Just Drake Maye's too inconsistent. Doesn't feel like much of an upgrade over Justin Fields, even if you don't believe in Justin Fields. Caleb Williams has a similar skill set. So at least you can, be able to project what Caleb could be year one in this offense. And he's just so much better of a player. So I don't know where this Drake Maye is the best player in the draft came from, but, it is what it is. At pick number 2, what's up with all of these, very annoying tweets? Like, my buddy Nate here, I appreciate all the content you do, but let's pipe down. They go Marvin Harrison Jr. out of the Ohio State University, Arizona Cardinals. Go Marvin Harrison Jr. So Drake Maye, then Marvin. Marvin's the selection for the Cardinals if he's there. Like, if you can't move out, go Marvin Harrison Jr. Don't overthink it. He's the best player in the draft. Amazing player. You guys need a wide receiver 1 as well. Commanders go Caleb Williams, sending him back to DC. Obviously, he shouldn't be here, but if he is, Caleb Williams is a damn good player. And the Commanders would not think twice about adding in a new signal caller. Y'all know how much I love Sam Howell. It's just unfortunately he lost confidence in himself. The team's lost confidence in him. Might as well go and get the next best thing and maybe give him a new shot somewhere else. The New England Patriots go Jayden Daniels out of New England. No, he's not quarterback in New England. But I guess he would be in this situation, right? But New England Patriots go Jayden Daniels out of LSU. Again, we kind of know that the quarterbacks are going to go within the top 4. Question is what order. So we'll leave it as is. I think the Patriots would not be doing a bad thing whatsoever by going after Jayden. He's my QB2 by a good margin. So we'll leave it right there. What is up with Yahoo's annoying ass ads? Like, straight up. Very irritating. But pick number 5, the New York Giants go Malik Nabers. I think it's perfectly fine. Malik is a spectacular prospect. He ended up grading out as my wide receiver number 3, but I ended up putting him over Johnny Wilson because of the athletic limitations of Johnny. So overall, Malik Nabers, my number 2 wide receiver in the class now because of those athletic limitations. To my buddy boy there in Johnny, great player. New York Giants could definitely use an extra little spark on offense. At pick number 6, the Chargers go Olu Fashanu. I think with Brock Bowers on the board, that's the better selection, but I'm never going to fault a team for going after offensive line. That's just never going to happen. You guys know me. If I can go offensive line and upgrade it, it's probably the route I'll go. Titans go Joe Alt here. Honestly, it's the best pick you can kind of ask for. Even if the Titans are sitting there at 4, I'd probably be debating pretty heavily whether I'd want to go Joe Alt or not. At pick number 8, the Chicago Bears go Rome Odunze to pair up there with their quarterback in Drake Maye. I like Rome. Big respect to him. Play with a broken rib and punctured lung. Like, that's pretty damn tough. So major respect for at least the dedication to the game. But I'd be very irritated if I were a Bears fan and this is what they ended up drafting. So at pick number 9, the Jets go J.C. Latham, right tackle out of Alabama. I've done this pick many times. I don't feel like it's a big issue. I know that some of my Jets fans want to go after receiver. I understand, but the offensive line is the offensive line that you have, and it's not amazing. So getting J.C. Latham's a great way to at least add some more youth and a little bit more health to that offensive tackle group. Next, we got the Falcons going Brian Thomas. I've seen this a couple times now. I don't get it. Brian Thomas is not that good. Just no disrespect to Brian, but, we're talking about him as arguably a wide receiver 1 of a franchise here, and he's not. He wasn't even the wide receiver 1 of LSU. Granted, the wide receiver 1 was taken earlier, but definitely not the route I would go. I do like the idea of wide receiver, but Brian Thomas is not that good. I'm not that big of a fan of him. He's a good player, but For me, he's a late second probably. If I get to, be a little bit more selective with where I get to draft guys. New Orleans Saints and go Brock Bowers. If he's there, you take him. I just don't think that he will be there. It is what it is, but the Saints would not think twice if he were on the board. The Green Bay Packers and go Nate Wiggins. I do think that I didn't even realize he's the first defensive player to come off the board. It's been all offense before this, but Nate Wiggins is a very talented corner. I don't feel like he fits the Green Bay Packers system. Like I want to get someone who's a little more sticky in man coverage. Nate Wiggins is much more polished in terms of his zone ability, but 6'2", roughly 190, not bad. He's a good player. I would think it's a little bit early. He's a top 40 player for me, but he's a good player nonetheless. I picked 13. The Raiders go on Marius Mims. I just made this pick right here, and I got some pushback for Illuminor, like performing well enough. Or no, not Illuminor, Mumford. And trust me, I love Thayer Mumford, but this guy's a massive upgrade. I don't think you would really have to debate this pick in your mind once you see him on the field, but I do get it. If Johnny Newton's here, makes sense. Makes sense to try to target that. Next, pick number 14, the Denver Broncos go Terrion Arnold, cornerback out of Alabama, my number one corner in this class. I think he's phenomenal. Obviously, he's my number one corner. I have him comped to a miniature JPJ. Just incredible field awareness, great instincts overall. Just a little bit in terms of height limited, but he's 6 foot, so it's not that bad. So I'm intrigued to see what he'd do on this team. Quarterback seems like a possible route for them to go now in the first round as well. The Vikings then go Cooper DeJean. Interesting. I don't think that this would be the best position for them to go by any stretch of the imagination. With the quarterbacks on the board, that's obviously the first spot to go. But if you want to pass on QB, edge rusher would easily be the second one. Cooper DeJean is super versatile, but it just doesn't really make sense. The secondary is not that bad, and I used to be someone who took them all the time. So I used to take DBs all the time. At pick 16, Arizona Cardinals go Laiatu Latu. So you end up going Latu as well as Marvin Harrison Jr. It wouldn't be a bad draft by any stretch. I do think the defense needs to be the priority, but the defensive interior needs to be taken before edge. Again, depends on where the defensive interiors go in this, but I think Latu. Solid value. Pittsburgh Steelers then go Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. Boundary corner 1, not a bad idea. We got JPJ in there, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have 2 alphas there in the secondary. Would not be too pissy to have Kool-Aid on the squad. Next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at pick 18 going Jerzon Johnny Newton. That would be a ridiculous replacement or pairing with DJ Readers, so I'd be a huge fan. My most recent mock draft, I actually ended up going after Tavondre Sweat. So, again, this does make a lot of sense in my eyes. At pick 19, the Buccaneers go Troy Fautanu out of Washington. They need help on the interior of the offensive line. I don't feel like this is out of the realm of possibility. There's just some really good day 2 guards and centers that I would trust, and I don't feel like you need to force an offensive line pick here in the first. At pick 20, the Indianapolis Colts go Keon Coleman. It's a perfect X wide receiver to pair up with Michael Pittman Jr. Like, I honestly started regretting it when I passed on Keon Coleman the last time I was doing a mock. Next, we have the Seattle Seahawks going Dallas Turner. I do think they could go after edge rusher. I went after Top Robinson this past week. The value is just incredible for them. A lot of times these edge rushers are falling, and it's just really up in the air where they'll end up going. The Seahawks getting great value with my number 4 player in the class. At pick number 22, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars going Graham Barton. Balky loves his athletic interior offensive lineman. I wouldn't think that this would be too far of a stretch for it actually to happen. Pick number 23, the Los Angeles Rams go Quinyon Mitchell. It's a bit early for him, but I do know some people who believe that Quinyon Mitchell should be a first-round pick. Got to study him a little bit more. Not a ton of Toledo tape out there, but he's a fun watch. He is a fun watch. I thought he was a 3rd rounder as of last year, and that definitely means that he could easily accelerate into the first round in my eyes this year, because that I'm not afraid to put guys very high on my board. Buffalo Bills then go Jalen Polk out of Washington. A little bit early for him, 6'2", 204. He's a good wide receiver, solid after the catch. Lots of upside, but there were a couple games in there where he didn't even get a single reception or a single target. It does sometimes concern me when you could become literally a non-factor in an offense. At pick number 25, the Kansas City Chiefs go Patrick Paul way too early. With Talise Fuaga on the board, doesn't really make much sense to go after Patrick Paul. So, just not a fan of this pick. I don't think Patrick Paul is athletic enough to match up, but we will see at the Senior Bowl. At pick 26, the Dallas Cowboys go Tyler Guyton. It doesn't make sense to go after Tyler Guyton when Kingsley Suamataia as well as Talise Fuaga are on the board, who are both better, and it could probably be a little bit more versatile than a one-year starter here in Guyton. Pick number 27, the Texans go Jared Verse. It just makes sense. Jared Verse is the guy to target if he's here at 27. I know that defensive interior is bigger need for the Texans, so Tavondre should be in the equation. Jared Verse is just too damn good of value. Too good. At pick 28, the Detroit Lions go Chop. I make this pick every single time he's available. It's that or cornerback, and it's kind of hard to pass on one of the potential best players coming out in the draft. At pick 29, the Miami Dolphins go Talise Fuaga. He is not a guard prospect. I don't understand this. He has great length. He honestly is still working on his footwork. Makes no sense. I assume he'd be a short-term guard until Terron Armstead would be good moving out to retirement. So for him to move to tackle. So I'd be a fan of that one. But again, stop listing him as a guard. Doesn't make sense. At pick number 30, the Philadelphia Eagles go Jordan Morgan to be the long-term future replacement of Lane Johnson. For you Eagles fans who think Lane's going to stay around for his whole contract, I'm sorry. There's going to be some very rude awakenings when Lane decides to hit the hay and say, I've done enough in my career. This is a very probable pick. Pick number 31, the Niners go Kingsley Suamataia. Again, we're seeing a run on tackles at the end here. It makes total sense. The Niners could use a star right tackle. Kingsley would be certainly one of those. At pick 32, the Baltimore Ravens go Jack Sawyer, edge out of Ohio State. He has not earned this remotely. He has not earned this. He is very poor in terms of his overall awareness on the field. He goes into the backfield, does not know where the ball is. He's a really good run defender, but again, most of the game is played up in here in the NFL because everybody else has a ton of talent. And Jack Sawyer, unfortunately, I don't have the faith in yet for him to be on that level. So that's going to be the video. I know it was a quick one today, literally a 14-minute-er, but I wanted to make sure that y'all ended up still getting some good content. And I am going to be working till 1 in the morning. Yes, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. That's how we rock here. And you did not hear that incorrectly. So wish me luck. Love you guys. See you on the far side.